Right, so yes, so let's have a look at the lineups for you, and we'll be, I'm sure, going into this in more detail. Keep an eye out for number 8, Fatima, because she threw herself around. You were talking about lack of dedication, but she was the one player that stood out for you.
Yeah, she wore her heart on her sleeve, didn't she? She was all over the pitch. I mean, she was run ragged, to be fair. She was absolutely shattered at the end of the game. And no, but she put her body on the line on a few occasions. She's definitely the one to watch.
And we thought she might have gone off at least half an hour, 45 minutes before she actually did, because she was in the wars. She threw herself around. She was getting injured. She was struggling to breathe at one point.
Yeah, she was, and that's why I think they've gone with a slight different formation this time. I think they've just slightly tweaked it with a 4-1-4-1. Again, up front, you're going to have Sarah. She works hard as well. They did have lack of chances, but they'll hope that they can get more opportunities and chances today.
Yeah, Sarah, it was a lonely job for her, wasn't it, up front for the UAE. She really didn't get much service. Kyrgyzstan, and I think you were very impressed with the way they've organised women's football over there.
Very, very impressed. I was chatting to some of the backroom staff a little bit earlier, and they were turning around and saying how the women's game is developing there. Now they're going to have 3 groups or 3 leagues running, under 14s, under 16s and a senior tournament. They had 18 teams last year with one age group, or the under 16s and the seniors, and now they've got 30. So I mean, it's got 50-60% bigger in the space of 12 months. So it really is taking on, you know, properly and taking off in a big way over there in Kyrgyzstan.
Let's I want to get your expert analysis here, by the way, Paul, on tell us what your feelings are on a 4-1-4-1 formation. What does that mean?
It's going to be interesting to see how they sit. You know, it does look as though it's going to be Toktobalovtova that will be sitting in there for the Kyrgyz, and it looks as though it's going to be Saram for, you know, the U.A.E. I think you've got more hope that Toktobalovtova is going to be the one that will sit in there, break up the play and look to start to spearhead things. It means that they're playing with width, so they've got to get the ball down, they've got to get it wide, but it also means that runners have to get forwards into the box as well when you play that sort of formation. It's a bit more rigid. It also defensively means that you do have that 5 there, and we may see those defensive midfield players dropping into the back.
Yeah, that one was sitting behind in front of the 4. There's always that ability to just drop back and shield and screen a bit.
Yeah, and also get on the ball. I mean, if these two sides are really serious and want to play football, then, you know, you want to be on the ball as much as possible. So we've seen it in senior teams throughout Asia as well, where the 2 centre-backs, they split wide and the defensive midfield player comes and drops in and picks the ball up off the keeper, and you can start some attacks from there.
Yeah, it does allow your fullbacks in many respects to bomb forward a little bit more and give them a bit more license, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So again, you can turn defence into attack, or you can keep it tight and keep things narrow, because your fullbacks need to tuck in, your wide players, they'll drop deep as well, and midfielders, well, they'll be in there just to battle it out.
So the 2 teams then making their way out now onto the pitch. The UAE, they have a lot of work to do today to redeem themselves after what was ultimately a very disappointing performance. I think Kyrgyzstan will look to attack them right from the start, and there's the team coach, Huria Al-Tahiri.
She's a very nice lady. We were talking to her earlier on, and she was very, very helpful with giving us information on the team and what they were looking to try and do. So it's going to be intriguing to see if they can change that first performance.
You know, you and I were talking about you need to get a win in that first game, but you can still redeem yourself here in the second, and then it becomes quite open, doesn't it?
Well, it really does then, because it would mean that Kyrgyzstan would have to come out all guns blazing against Bangladesh. So again, we know that the Kyrgyz are going to be very, very strong. They're going to be very physical. We can see that their frame, their bodies, they are a little bit bigger, and it can be intimidating for this U.A.E. team. So I'm sure it's like yesterday what we saw.
I was just going to say, yeah.
It's exactly the same. Tajikistan, they were strong, they were physical, but not as physical as the Mongolians, they had some big players out there as well, and strong physically specimens out there on the field of play.
Yeah, I think we were talking about how Tajikistan probably technically a little bit better than the Mongolians, but just overpowered by the sheer strength and physicality of the Mongolians. The 2 teams line up then for the national anthems. Bangamata Under-19 Women's Gold Cup starting shortly.
Let's stand up for the national anthem of U.A.E. Let's stand up for the national anthem of Kyrgyzstan.
So just a few minutes then we'll have the U.A.E. taking on Kyrgyzstan. Match 3 of the Bangamata Under-19 Women's International Gold Cup 2019. And remember, it's 3 teams in each group. The top 2 qualify. U.A.E. no points on the board so far, -2 goal difference. Kyrgyzstan can set the tone here, and if they win, through semi-finals, and that knocks out the U.A.E. So really, Paul, nothing less than a win.
Yep, that's all they've got to do. I mean, a draw is no good for the U.A.E. either, really. You've got to turn around and you've got to say that Bangladesh have looked extremely good. Goal difference could come back to haunt them, because if this does finish a draw, you never know what could happen in the next game. But if Kyrgyzstan were to win, it could all just, if they were to draw the last game, then it is goal difference.
There are your officials for today. Wang Tia of Chinese Taipei in charge, assisted by Bao Mengxiao, and Bahared of Iran. Manaz Zokai, who was in charge yesterday, is the 4th official. And just remember how she was being treated by the Tajikistan coach, which was rather unsavory towards the end of that match.
Yeah, it was, and we're hearing reports that he's going to have a 1-match ban, which is quite right. Maybe slightly lenient, but it is a short tournament, so you know that's relative. But at the end of the day, it was nice. We actually just caught up and spoke to the officials a little bit earlier on, didn't we? They're not allowed to speak to the press or the media or give interviews. We know that, we understand, but what we did gather from them was that they are all officials. They're on the FIFA lists, they're on the AFC lists, and they are coaching women's football in their nations where they come from. I mean, it's great to see them coming in from Chinese Taipei, China, Iran and India. You know, there are officials that are all over the world coming here to help this tournament.
Huria Al-Tahri from the U.A.E. She knows her team are under immense pressure today to redeem themselves, atone for the mistakes of the last match. Kyrgyzstan, I suppose, in a way, it's a little bit of a free hit in some ways, that they can ease themselves into this, get accustomed to conditions, but then they'll have to go hell for leather against Bangladesh. They'll want to try and get that win today under their belt and secure a place in the semi-finals.
A little little bit of
there's the
soul
coach
searching going on there, I think, in that U.A.E circle. Sorry, Shazad, it's just actually intriguing that the coach isn't there. It's just all the girls together, so they are trying to sort themselves out by the looks of things.
It will be Kyrgyzstan to get proceedings underway. Wang Chair just needs to make sure everyone is ready, and here we go. And it's an interesting back line as well. The smallest player on the pitch is Fatima. She's at centre back. We usually get an idea very quickly, don't we, of how this is going to pan out, Paul, from the way things start. And that's pushed forward. Remember, that line caused problems for U.A.E. They didn't help themselves sometimes, especially with some of the very quick forwards that Bangladesh had.
No, they didn't. They were playing high, and it looks as though they're trying to play a little bit high today.
Would you have thought to be a little bit more conservative about that?
I think they've got their game plan. They want to stick to it.
Well, ball over the top here, and it's Fatima. No surprises, but it's a couple of signs already of what could happen.
Was that a back pass? Have a look here. Just nodded over the top, and again, just caught a little bit square. Fatima again putting the pressure on. She did get a foot to it and poke it back. We've seen decisions given like that before.
Yeah, that's true. Aizan Borombakova was the striker there, and she's playing right off the shoulder of the last defender. That's across to Konishbaeva. There you go, 34 degrees. It is certainly the most humid day we have experienced thus far in the tournament, and I feel that will play some part in this. That's good work on that left-hand side for Kyrgyzstan. Trying to get that up to the forward, Borombakova.
Not really too much in that. Just a little bit overzealous, I think, trying to win the ball back quickly.
Both sides, remember, going 4-1, 4-1. Maslanova, first touch for the Kyrgyz keeper, Tolanova.
The hair colour, by the way.
What we did notice with, it seems the only team that really used and employed a sweeper keeper so far has been Bangladesh.
Yeah, they did. She played a little bit higher, didn't she? And just pushed on a little bit more. They look good for it as well, to be fair. You have to turn around and say that. Of course, it was Rukna Chatmar that didn't really touch the ball, but they did get her involved. That was the good thing. The defenders were playing the ball back, and she was coming out and playing as well.
A good challenge in there from Alanud.
Well played. Well played.
Clearly offside. Looking for the quick transition over the top.
Was unlucky that, because that was a nice little move there. There was 2 or 3 one-touch passes, and then that ball clipped over the top. So they'll have watched the first game against Bangladesh, and they'll know that if they're quick enough and smart enough, they'll be able to get in and break that offside trap.
Correct. And we saw that very early on. She's the danger player there, Borombakova. get another challenge in. That's nicely done by Shad, who was one of the better performers for the UAE, along with Fatima. There she is on the ball, Fatima. Won that challenge, Sakashigeva, and now a through ball here. Aya has come out, just needs to be tapped in, and again it's Fatima to the rescue, and Borombakova, it was an empty goal. What an opportunity, great defending.
Aya Walid there, got caught ball watching, should have come out earlier. She came, she stopped, and then she went again. It's a lovely defence, splitting pass, but look how Fatima gets back there. Lovely little touch around the keeper, but once again, it's the number 8 there. Look, she's totally out of the picture, so she's done ever so well to get back in there with a challenge. Well played.
And that was the kind of challenge she was putting in, Paul. Last minute, last gasp, and that's gone in! Straight from the corner! A wild flat from Aya. It's another early goal in this tournament, and Borombakova, who should have scored a minute ago, makes up for it almost immediately.
Well, we don't see that very often, do we? Balls flying in from set plays straight away. Quality delivery from Borombakova. I mean, she's just fired it in. It's poor goalkeeping. We have to be honest about that. Just a little flap, and at the end of the day, well, what a goal.
It's the equivalent of a hole-in-one, isn't it, really, Paul? I mean, how often do you see that happen? It is something pretty special to score directly from a corner. Pretty rare, very special for Aizan Borombakova. And it's Kyrgyzstan who have the lead. They have been threatening. There were a few moments earlier, and they've set their stall out.
Interesting. Now a proper test for the UAE, just to see if they've got a little bit of resilience after that first game. Gone one down again early doors here.
Well, they conceded a relatively early goal as well, didn't they, against Bangladesh? And the floodgates started opening. They were just lucky that Bangladesh couldn't finish off. Let's see how Kyrgyzstan push on from here. And again, we were talking about that line, weren't we? That defensive line from UAE. It was split open a little too easily.
Yeah, it was, and that's how the goal came. Just the ball played through between the two centre-backs. And as you mentioned, Borombakova just gambling and getting in between the two centre-backs, getting on the ball, rounding the keeper. Great last-ditch challenge from Fatima, but then that happens from the corner. I mean, they'd be absolutely devastated.
Remember, it was her hesitation earlier to rush out that led to the corner, and then her flap as well.
Yeah,
that corner.
She could have come and dealt with that ball, and she should have done. There's your sweep the keeper.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Especially if you've got a high line, you've got to be aware of that. Here's Najla. Again, they're just getting penned in here. That's a delightful ball over to Borombakova. Is she going to cross it? That's actually a decent shot and a fine save as well from the keeper, Aya. Snapshot from her. She could have crossed it. They're still alive here for Kyrgyzstan.
Well, she's on fire at the moment, isn't she? Borombakova. Lovely ball over the top again. I thought she was going to hit it more on the volley so that she could have got some top spin on it. She's waited for that ball to drop and just the power taken out of it. But a good save on that occasion from Aya.
Saskeva was square, just wanted the ball across to her. She was probably in a better position, but Kyrgyzstan are coming hard now at the UAE. They're under real pressure here. She is the star defender really for this side there, Fatima. She can't do it alone. and that back line is getting exposed repeatedly. There's Toktabolatova. Forward by Maslianova. Shard now. Sara isn't going to make that.
I don't think we saw the U.A.E. pushing in like that in the last game. They're playing a little bit higher up the field. They're pushing on. They're just trying to split that defence there as well. It is a much better start from them. Even though they're a goal down, they've started better than they did the other day.
Just threading a few passes together. Better than they were before, you're right. Midfield seems a bit more effective. A lot of work to do though for the U.A.E. But a lot of football still to play in this game, of course. Trying to get that away. There is Fatima Jassem. Well, the problem they had before, the U.A.E., were the goal kicks. I didn't see much of a foul there from Fatima.
I think that's a little bit harsh. Both of them just coming together, trying to attack the ball. Oh, there, the arm did just catch her face, to be fair. She did well to just carry on for that extra stride or two, Saskiva. But this is going to be dangerous. We've already seen Rombakova put one in to the back of the net from the corner. There's a bit more of an angle on this one now.
Toktabolatova to take this. She's gone for goal. It's not the worst effort in the world from Toktabolatova.
No, but you've just got to hit the target there. I think that's the thing. You've seen that Ayawali's come and flapped for the first goal from the set play. My God, that's not a bad strike, to be fair. But you hit the target. If you hit the target, you've got a chance. If you don't hit the target, it's easy for the defending side.
Again, they are just struggling to get this out of their own half at the moment. Trying to surge forward is Moza. We've had three kind of different matches, haven't we? Three different styles here. I know we're talking about different teams, but there is no pattern evolving yet. And this is quite good from the U.A.E. And the crowd cheering them on as they get to the final third. Did well to get the cross in Alanud. They struggled to get to the final third in that last game. Here's Dallinger putting some pressure on Fatima Ghulam. Oh, that wasn't a bad ball at all. You could see the idea there, trying to get it to Akhmat Kulova.
Great composure though from Naida Jamal. Just chesting it down into the middle of the park and trying to keep the game going.
Foul. U.A.E. an opportunity just to pour some players forward. When they have these kind of opportunities, you've got to take them set pieces, I suppose.
Yeah, but again, as you mentioned, the problem that they were facing the other day was the delivery out from a goal kick. So have they got somebody who can deliver the ball into a dangerous area? Because that's quite wide, and it's about 40 yards out from goal.
Yeah, Rawan to take this. Floats it in. Fatima trying to keep it alive here. And now, danger of a break, Dallinger. Oh, that's really nicely done, and just had a little bit of a heavy touch there, Borombokova. That's strong from Dr. Bolotova. Very nicely done there from her. Ada Jamal. Not sure she meant to do that. Is that a back pass?
It's got to be.
Wow, no one's really appealing for it. I think the Kyrgyz players are saying, the Kyrgyz bench are saying something.
That's a nailed-on back pass. Wow. No. That is a back pass. I don't care. I don't care what you say. That is a back pass.
Corner now. We'll come back to that in a short while.
It's the first corner the U.A.E have had in this tournament.
Yeah, I think so, right. Yeah, so a little bit of a talking point there, Paul. You're convinced that was a back pass then?
100%. You can't play the ball back like that and expect to get away with it. But they did.
Now again, is this about, does it help that the opposition, should they be going up in arms as well and making a point?
No, I would. You'd just be running past the referee and you'd be having a quiet word saying, "You sure that wasn't a back pass?"
Yeah. I think there have been a couple of times where perhaps the teams haven't quite done that. Here is Borombokova. She's going to, well, try to cross that perhaps for Saskeva. That will be a corner now.
That was a shot. Make no mistake. She gets into the danger zone.
She's
she
going to
pulls
go for
the trigger.
It. Yeah. Tough angle.
No, I like her. Lively, works hard, holds the ball up, and has scored a goal. Again, breaking between those two central defenders, getting herself in a good position.
Oh no, it's another flop and another goal. Aya has had another poor time at a corner, and Kyrgyzstan have profited from that once again. And it's Yurisbek who's got the second goal.
Well, basic errors. It really was a poor claim from the keeper. You've got to get your hands behind the ball initially, not try and take it on the side like that. You can see what it means to Yurisbek. She's just in the right place at the right time, just nods it in from 4 yards out.
Well, it's putting a lot of pressure on Aya now in the U.A.E goal. I'm afraid she's been directly responsible for both of those, and Kyrgyzstan are in an excellent position here. U.A.E have to dig very, very deep now, as they are facing elimination the way things are going at the moment. Maslenova will just let that roll out of play, and
kept it in.
Well, the flags have not gone up, and it's still alive here. Pushed away by Kalishova.
Well, the flag didn't go up, and now all of a sudden the flag's gone up. I mean, that is incredibly late. I don't think that ball went out of play, you know.
Yeah, it was a passage of play that was allowed to continue for quite a while. Well, possession is almost 50-50, Paul, and I suppose from that point of view, UAE will be happy that they've managed to retain it a bit more, but it's another ball over the top. The flag has stayed down. Borimbakova. Again, it's Fatima who's in the way. And she's been the bane for Borimbakova. But it cannot just be her alone doing all of that.
Well, it is. Again, it's that ball. It's a straight ball straight through the middle, in between the two central defenders. And she's having to cover. So you've got to turn around and you've got to look at Najla and say, come on, sort yourself out. Your positioning needs to be a little bit better.
Just winded, I think, there. Sara.
Yeah, ball into the chest. You'll see it here, look. Bang. Oof.
She'll be fine in a short while, but right now the wind is also out of the UAE sails. They are struggling here. Kyrgyzstan, full of vigour. I just get the impression they're not necessarily playing much out of first gear at the moment, Paul. I think there's more to come from this Kyrgyz side.
Yeah, I think you're right. And again, I think as the game goes on, you'll see the physical prowess coming through a little bit more. You'll see the UAE side tire a little bit. Here we go, another foul throw. Number 6. Told you I was keeping count.
6 for the tournament. Well, she won't be too happy with this right now. The coach Huria of UAE. Does the coach have to make a tough call, Paul, in this instance and think, well, maybe I've got to take the keeper out?
It's possible, but we don't know what the other keepers are like, do we? That's the thing. So if that, she's obviously the number 1 choice, so she's obviously the best keeper that they have. You can't really put somebody else in because exactly the same could happen. So you know, you can point fingers. The thing is that as a goalkeeper, the finger gets pointed at you when you make a mistake.
Flag has gone up. Absolutely right there. There is no margin for error for keepers, really, is there? And, well, it's a very clear tactic that Kyrgyzstan are employing. And Huria's not happy. And again, we're going back to that high line, a high defensive line that UAE are maintaining.
That's okay if you've got pace there.
Yeah, but they're struggling to get back.
They are. I mean, Fatima's the only one that can get back in, because you turn around and you look at Najla. Najla hasn't got the legs to get back in there, so you have to drop and play just a little bit deeper. Here she is. Heart on her sleeve the last game. Seems to be doing exactly the same today.
Shard gives the ball away. Tucked up Wadatova. And then Yerisbek, the goal scorer. Fatima loses the ball. Four fouls, Kyrgyzstan. We're not surprised by that. Ball played through. Sara won't get there. It should go back to the Kyrgyz keeper.
Yeah, no problems from Tolanova in goal there. Just held back, waited for that ball to be rolled to her before clearing the lines.
Always looking to try and release Borimbakova. Sara just chasing the ball, but Tolanova gets there first.
Good keeping again. Got to be alert, got to be alive.
That's what you want to see more of from Aya at the other end.
Yeah, she could have done it on a couple of occasions. Here's the second goal. Just straight through the hands. And simple tapping header, you would say, from Isbek.
Shard. Here she is, trying to weave her way through. It's still Shard! And that will be the first attempt they've had. It's not on target, but right now, they need something, don't they? She's been one of the few bright sparks today.
Yeah, she's been working hard there in the middle of the park and just didn't have the angle really that she wanted or required to put the ball in the back of the net.
Now Dallinger. Musa gives the ball away. Here's Dr. Bolotova.
This is the difference between Bangladesh and Kyrgyzstan, composure. Because Ratna would have put a foot on that and started playing again from the back.
Yeah, we were very impressed with Aki, weren't we, at the back?
Yeah, and Ratna, yeah. Aki was dropping. Ratna was the centre back that, when it was the keeper that when it went to her, she just take a touch, comfortable on the ball, and just play.
They were playing from the back, weren't they, for quite a lot of it? They were quite happy to do that. They were comfortable.
It's okay playing a possession-based game and playing out from the back, but you've got to have, I think I said at the time, she said, you've got to have a purpose. If you've got the purpose and what you want to do when you're getting forwards, there's no problem at all with that. It's when there's no purpose and you just pass the ball for the sake of passing the ball that it becomes an issue, because where are you going? Absolutely nowhere.
It's just looking not particularly fluid at the moment for the UAE as they struggle to come to terms with the fact they are 2-0 down and not really being able to get into that final third. Dallinger, physical, goes against her this time.
Yeah, no nonsense there. Dallinger doing that a lot. I think she's probably committed the most fouls of anybody that's on the pitch.
Dallinger to put some pressure on Rawan. There's Rawan. She's that anchor. Done well here, Rawan. That's good from her. Gets it out wide. Can she keep it in? Does it well. Fatima Jassim.
We mentioned it yesterday, didn't we, Suzanne, that you do all the hard work by winning the ball and then creating that pass, and then she overplayed the pass. That was just the slight problem from Rawan there. But it was a good move. It looked enterprising. It looked as though they're trying to get the ball out wide. They're looking to get down to the byline and get crosses in. It's just that little bit of quality that's lacking.
Ada with the throw. Skews that ball wide, and this is the problem. They're in that final third. They're just a lack of composure.
Exactly, took the words right out of my mouth. It really is. Take a touch, have another touch if you need one, then deliver.
Yeah. Don't rush it.
You don't have to put the ball in first time. At times when you're playing top senior level, you may have to. But you've got a little bit of time here from what we've seen in this Gold Cup that you can take that touch and then deliver.
They won't be too happy with that at the moment. The bench, they need a little bit more from their team. Dr. Bolotova, she's been impressive. Nicely done from her. Brilliant from Dr. Bolotova. Flag is up, just offside for Saskieva, but it was excellent work from Dr. Bolotova, who has been one of the key players for Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah, Saskieva just trying to get in there. Went just a fraction early again. They don't need to, because they look as though they've got the pace. And if they've got the pace, it gives you the ability to go in behind.
Well, there's extreme heat, and anytime someone goes down, I think these players will be rushing over to get some hydration. Now, here are the goals, Paul, and there's a bit of deja vu on both of them, and Aya's mistake there.
Yeah, again, there's nowhere to hide as a goalkeeper. You know, that's one mistake, then there's two mistakes. At least she was positive and tried to come for that ball the second time, but it has gone through the hands. But if you're a goalkeeper and you make a mistake like that, you can't hide anywhere. It's the only thing to say. If a defender makes a mistake, the goalkeeper has the opportunity to bail the defender out, so you forget the mistake. But when it happens like that and it's in front of goal, when the goalkeeper does that, unfortunately, there is nowhere to hide.
So 2-0 it stands. We're on the half-hour mark. Now Bangladesh should be looking at this very carefully so far. I think it would be quite a fascinating game, Bangladesh-Kyrgyzstan, which is the third and final game of this group.
Yeah, it's in a couple of days' time, so Bangladesh will have had 4 days rest as opposed to Kyrgyzstan that'll only end up having 2, but I think the physicality could come into play there as well, which will be interesting to see how Bangladesh do cope with that.
Shard ends up being quite a good ball for Musa. She's done well here, Musa. Gets her way into the box, still Musa. It's a hopeful look across to the referee.
I thought that was a corner. I thought it was. It's been given as a goal kick.
Good work from her though, Paul.
Brilliant. Look at this. Jinx in between the two, skips past the next one. We can see from the replay here now, it did just take a little nick and deflection.
What I liked about that, she's taken some initiative there and said, right, I'm gonna go for this, be a bit positive, take on players.
Exactly what you need. Exactly what you need.
Well, little moments like that will just give the U.A.E. a bit of confidence, and I think you mentioned it prior to maybe the second goal, Paul, that they were retaining the ball a little bit better today. They were pushing up slightly more and getting to some better positions.
Yeah, and they've created an opportunity. They've forced the keeper to make a save, which is a good thing.
More than I think what they managed to do against Bangladesh.
And they got themselves a corner, so they have been pressing. They haven't backed down. It's a better side today than it was 2 days ago. A much better side.
And at the end of the day, I think that's what you want. You want to be improving as the tournament progresses.
That's why we say it's always vital not to lose your first game.
Wonderful work from Shard. Maybe just holding on to it a little too long. Yurusbek manages to clear. Here's Borombakova. But it's Shard on one side and Musa on the other. They've created just a couple of little issues there at the back for Kyrgyzstan.
Get the ball to them more then. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get them on the ball. You've got to give the ball to their feet and say, go on then, have a run, get at them.
They've been the most positive players, haven't they, for the U.A.E.?
There you go. Coach proving that she can play as well. Nice little touch there from Huria.
Borombakova, Dallinger. You can see what she was trying to do. Didn't quite get the execution right.
No, but you could see, and you're absolutely spot on what she was trying to do. She was just looking at that top corner. She tried to open herself up, be big, be brave, and just try and bend it in that far corner. Just caught it slightly wrong.
Nice work there for Borombakova to lay it up for her. We've seen some pretty good forwards so far in this tournament, Paul, and Borombakova's right up there with them, isn't she?
Wouldn't disagree with that at all.
Nice determination there from Alanud. Those of you just joining us, welcome to the Bangamata Under-19 Women's Gold Cup 2019. Great initiative, of course, from the Bangladesh Football Federation, the BFF, and K Sports, who also organised, both of them organised the Bangabandhu Gold Cup, the men's competition. That was in October of 2018, and Come back to that in a minute, because here's a chance, and wonderful work from Sarah. She collides with the keeper, Tolanova. They're both down, and surely, when the keeper's down, you've got to be stopping play. They are now. But a great chance, a brave from both of them.
Yeah, I think the keeper got that wrong, didn't come quickly enough. Ball just clipped hopelessly over the top. In she goes, she gets to the ball first look, just gets it wrong.
Isn't that a foul, Paul, for you? She missed the ball, didn't she, the keeper?
No, but it's the ball's gone already. The header's come in, the ball's gone. I mean, we have seen them given.
Well, she took out, Tolanova took out Sarah there. Yes, the header had already happened. But you could argue she had to rush that as she saw an oncoming keeper.
Just got to be a little bit braver and put your full head on it.
She got there quickly, thought to get the header out of the way,
And that's why the header went off target, because if she makes the proper connection there, that ball flies into the back of the net.
It's been a decent few minutes for the U.A.E, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've played a lot better, and it's nice to see that in a couple of days' time that they've just managed to turn things around from how it was a couple of days ago.
Just going back to what we were saying about this wonderful tournament, and things in Bangladesh, the football here certainly improved. As we look at the replay of the incident.
She could have been a foul there outside the box, but she just glanced at that. If that hits her full on the head and just nods it over the keeper, that goes in the back of the net. But again, it's more pressure, as you mentioned, and it's the U.A.E playing a lot better.
Well, they can pull one back. It certainly gets very, very interesting. Shah plays it forward again, and I think they're beginning to use the Kyrgyz tactics. Try and get that through ball up to the forwards.
I think they're starting to believe in themselves a little bit more. Certainly how it looks. I mean, we haven't had to mention Fatima for the last sort of 10-15 minutes. That tells you who's on the front foot.
Can they capitalise? Get one back before half-time. We're about 8 minutes away from the break. Fatima Ghulam here.
Handball. Penalty.
Handball, and she has given it. Well. Not too much dissent there from the Kyrgyz players. They know it. And a real chance here for the U.A.E to pull one back.
Nailed on. Absolutely nailed on. I don't need to see the replay. I can tell you, I'm looking down at the players now, and I know that the replay is going on. You can see that at the corner of my eyes, but that is absolutely 100% nailed on penalty.
Kalishova with an arm leaning out now. They've got to take advantage of this. It's Shah, who's one of the most technically gifted players, with an opportunity here. And their chance for the first goal of the tournament. Have they been practicing penalties? Here we go. This to make it 2-1. Oh, she does it! Pretty much down the middle, and brilliant. And the U.A.E deserved that, Paul Macefield, after the last 10 minutes or so.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. The way that they've played and the way that they've gone about their business. It's two basic mistakes that they've made that have cost them so far, but this, it's a big moment for Saad. Does ever so well to slot it home, sends the keeper completely the wrong way, but more importantly, it's a couple of minutes before half-time, and that team talk now is totally different, because there'll be a belief in the U.A.E that they can get themselves back into this match and back on level terms.
And of course, from a neutral point of view, just looking at this, it's game on, isn't it? It really makes this a much more compelling second half that's coming up. They've scored at a brilliant time as well. Changes the complexion of this game now, and they'll feel, can they push for a second even before the end of this first half?
You got to say, what's happened to Kyrgyzstan?
Yeah,
I'm being serious.
Yeah.
They've lost it at the moment, but the UAE have picked it up. I can tell because there are 3 substitutes warming up for Kyrgyzstan just down in front of us. So I just wonder if they're thinking about making changes because it's not going right for them at the moment.
Yeah, pressure here. Oh, this makes the group interesting. Bangladesh watching this now.
Imagine nicking one just before half-time.
Well, that will set us up beautifully, wouldn't it, for the second half. Here's Fatima Jassim. And Ahmad Kulova
is out.
Well, should be a lot happier now, Coach Huria. Possession is pretty much 50-50. Haven't been able to push on Kyrgyzstan. Shard, again, it's a great ball through. Now Sara, can she lift it over? Is it going to go in? It's going to be just wide. But it's, again, that quick ball out from Shard towards the forwards.
Shard doing ever so well there, sees it. I just thought that Sara had enough about her to lift this over the keeper. It's a wonderful ball. There's the pace that we talked about. All she's got to do is just flick it over the top because the keeper's come rushing out and that goes in the back of the net. She's tried to just slot it, waited for that ball to drop all the way down, and she just didn't need to do that. But that is a golden opportunity to score a second in the space of 2 minutes and put themselves back on level terms.
You were literally just saying, can they nick it here? And they've come so close. What a game this has turned into.
Now it's a lot more open, isn't it? It's end to end instead of Kyrgyzstan just pushing forwards and trying to get themselves a goal.
Unfortunately, Fatima, as has been the case throughout the tournament so far, is always on the receiving end.
Now just deals with the ball. Yeah, just gets a foot trodden on. And there you go, body slam to boot as well. Someone's been watching the wrestling. They're collisions, you can't do anything about those.
Well, she's okay, Fatima.
She always seems to be okay, doesn't she? I mean, she looked in absolute bits on occasions in the first half the other day.
We thought she was coming off any second.
Oh, it was unbelievable how she managed to just grit her teeth and just carry on going. It was unbelievable, really.
I think finally it was just one challenge too many for her in that last game. But I think it would be key for the UAE to have her on till the end today.
Yeah, it will. I'll tell you what, though, with that goal being scored and the opportunities that have just been created now, how different is Kyrgyzstan's half-time team talk going to be? Very, very different.
Well, Paul, have they even been in the UAE final third for a while, have they?
Not at all.
They've not threatened. Here's Fatima. It should be fairly comfortable for Najla. Couple minutes to go. I think there'll be a little bit of out of time as well. We had a few stoppages for injuries.
Yeah, I think allowing the players to have like a mini water break, as it were, as well. The officials weren't rushing the players back onto the field,
I think,
which was good.
Right.
No, that's good. It's the right thing to do. Correct.
They're defending better now. They're a bit more solid, aren't they, UAE?
Yeah, but it's after the Lord Mayor's show, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing, because if we'd have seen this gritty, steely determinedness in the first game, things could have been slightly different.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, she'll be feeling, I don't want that half-time whistle to go at the moment. The momentum's all with us.
Yeah, it is. As mentioned, though, it's her team talk that becomes a heck of a lot easier now. There, you've done it, you've got yourselves back in the game. Now go out and show what you can do the second half. They've had a 15 probably a 15-20 minute spell it will be when we get to half time, where they've been the better team, and they have been on top, and they've created opportunities and chances. So just keep plugging away. That's what they've got to do.
Oh, very good work there from Ahmad Kulova. But again, Ada Jamal, she's been solid today. There are a few more smiles on the bench, Paul, but we're just seeing the body language is looking better, because we noticed that wasn't particularly positive the other day.
No, it wasn't. When they were asking the subs to go and warm up, it was like, what, me? I've got to go and warm up. You want me to go on? No, I think possibly a few home truths were said to them after the first game.
Maybe they heard you on commentary.
Well, I mean, I say things as I see it.
Yeah, absolutely right.
I don't hide from anything. You don't want to take kick-off. You don't want to run and get the ball because it's a goal kick. I mean, and that's in the first 2 minutes of the game. It set the tone.
Set the tone, didn't it?
It set their tone. I've been involved in the game a long time. You know, you can see body language is a massive, massive important thing in football. And when you've got body language like that, you're giving off negative vibes, and you're literally saying to your opponents, "Go on, this is your game. It's yours. It's yours to lose."
Well, this has been a bit of sustained pressure here. Aya's done enough. She got the ball. That's better from the keeper. She maybe could have got a firmer grip on it, but she was confident in coming out there, Paul.
Yeah, but it was still a bit slow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was still a bit slow. I mean, she's absolutely flattened her. And there we go. No surprise who's in the wars again. Fatima once more, but
Saskayeva's also in some trouble here.
She came late. She has caught her as well, by the way, but she has gone, pushed the ball away to safety.
I think it was a hand across the face.
I think she may have rolled her ankle as well after the challenge, or it's the thigh, it's a little bit of a dead leg.
Well, we have gone beyond that 1 minute, and the referee might just feel it's time to call it a break, and that's exactly what she's done. We have got so far, Paul Macefield, the closest game of the tournament, and it's an intriguing position.
Again, you said we've had 3 different games in 3 different days, which we have, and this one now is set up perfectly for the second 45 minutes. There's going to be more twists and turns in this game. I'm telling you, something's going to happen in the second half that we are going to go, wow, because the U.A.E have fought their way back in, and they thoroughly deserve to be back in this game.
Yeah, what a fight back from the United Arab Emirates there after 2 mistakes from the U.A.E goalkeeper. Gave Kyrgyzstan looked to be an imposing lead. She doesn't look too happy there, Aya. She's partially redeemed herself, and Zarkan got a penalty late on, which means halftime here at the Bangamata National Stadium. It is U.A.E 1, Kyrgyzstan 2.
কিছু কিছু মানুষ এগিয়ে যাবার প্রেরণা ও এগিয়ে দেবার শক্তির অফুরন্ত উৎস হয়ে থাকেন, ঠিক যেমনটি ছিলেন বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের সহধর্মিণী বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। কঠিন সময়ে দৃঢ়তা বজায় রাখার অদ্ভুত ক্ষমতা নিয়ে জন্মানো অসামান্য এই নারী একদিকে যেমন শক্ত হাতে সংসার সামলেছেন, তেমনি বঙ্গবন্ধুর পাশে থেকে আমাদের স্বাধীনতাকে ত্বরান্বিত করতে রেখেছেন পরোক্ষ ভূমিকা। তিনি পশ্চিমা শোষকদের বাধার মুখেও বঙ্গবন্ধুর অবর্তমানে দিয়েছেন রাজনৈতিক দিক নির্দেশনা। স্বাধীনতা পরবর্তী সময়ে বীরাঙ্গনাদের পুনর্বাসনের জন্য নিয়েছেন ব্যক্তিগত বহু পদক্ষেপ। আর তাই সকল প্রতিকূলতাকে ডিঙিয়ে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার মহান অনুপ্রেরণা বঙ্গমাতা শেখ ফজিলাতুন্নেসা মুজিব। তার আদর্শ নতুন প্রজন্মের মাঝে ছড়িয়ে দিতে শুরু হচ্ছে বঙ্গমাতা অনূর্ধ্ব ১৯ মহিলা আন্তর্জাতিক গোল্ড কাপ ২০১৯, যেখানে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার নেই মানা।
New National Stadium here for the Bangamata Under-19 Women's Gold Cup 2019. U.A.E are up against Kyrgyzstan, and it is wonderfully poised with the score at 2-1 in favour of Kyrgyzstan. Two mistakes from the U.A.E goalkeeper leading to those opening goals, and it looked like Kyrgyzstan could push on. U.A.E stuck at it. They had to grit their teeth and pushed hard. Let's have a look at the story of this game so far. And they set their stall out early, didn't they? It was a high line for the U.A.E and they couldn't quite profit from it.
No, exactly, and again, no surprise, Fatima's back there doing all the defending and tracking back in to put in important challenges. But I'm quietly impressed with that young lady, Bonakova, and just 6 minutes in to score direct from the corner was absolutely spot on.
And not too long after, it was a similar type of flap from the keeper. She got her hands onto it this time, but laid it on beautifully, I'm afraid, for Eurosbek. And then there were a couple of other opportunities. Once again, it was really the defending of Fatima, and maybe a bit of indecision from Borobakova there.
Yeah, I think so. Could have taken it a little bit earlier, but it was good to see U.A.E then started to impose themselves the last 15-20 minutes, won themselves a penalty, and it was coolly slotted home.
Yeah, an important strike there, the penalty, and it was part of the fight back there from the U.A.E as we look at the stats of this first half. And Paul, it's pretty close now. I mean, it's certainly narrowed the gap, haven't they?
Definitely. I mean, it's nice to see the shots and shots on target from the U.A.E because it means that they've had a go. They've managed to get themselves a corner as well. And they've kept the ball extremely well that last 20 minutes. But Kyrgyzstan, they still have a little bit more in the tank, I believe. I think they're playing their way into this tournament, but they can't take anything for granted here because this U.A.E side, I'm sure there's been a few words said at half-time that would have been totally different.
Well, there has been a change, and we were wondering if Fatima could last the 90. She's been their best defender, and I'm afraid the answer is no, she isn't. So Sendi Al-Gharib Al-Marouzi is on for Fatima Ali, who's been their best defensive player.
Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame.
There she is. I think she's limping, not looking very happy at the moment, but she has put in some hard yards here. But that is her game over, and possibly her tournament if the U.A.E fail to win this.
Yeah, it's a simple equation. They've got to come out and have a go the second half.
Well, what's interesting, I think it looks like Ada Jamal has now gone into central defence along with Najla. Fatima Ghulam is right back, and it looks like Fatima Jassim is now left back. So a few tweaks there.
Yeah, you got to expect that though.
So Ada now, that little tweak, and we I think we see that on the left-hand side, the new player in, Sendi, will play where Fatima Jassim was earlier. So she's made some tweaks there, Coach Huria of the U.A.E. Let's see how that pans out.
It's obviously been forced. The injury there to Fatima taking its toll.
Up to Bangamata. Jamal doesn't get a convincing header in now. Important block in from Fatima Jassem. Well done there by Rawan.
Nicely played.
Chased after by Sara. Good pressure from her.
Yeah, they played their way out quite well there, the UAE. A lot better than what we'd seen in the opening game. And as this game's gone on, they've got better and better. They'll be hoping that they can keep this up for the next 45 minutes.
There is Rawan. No changes, by the way, for the UAE. Here is Sendi, the substitute. A little bit of indecision there at the back.
Sarah was being checked out there, just off the ball. I don't think you saw it, where she was being held back. She was trying to make that run in behind, but got blocked out. So again, positive from the UAE at the start of this second half.
Yeah, they want to continue that momentum where they left off. A little bit of a speculative ball there.
If you're going to do that, you've got to tuck it. You've got to use the inside of your foot rather than just try and slice it down the line. It's always going to run out of play.
Interesting, Paul, that it was a clear instruction from both midfields: get that ball out quickly to your forwards. As soon as you have a chance, try and play it through the defence or over the top. You've always got a chance, haven't you?
Hey, you're always looking for weaknesses as coaches. You're looking at your opponents, you're looking what's happening. That's why the coaches have to be vocal on the sidelines. They can see things. Sometimes when you're embroiled in a game, it's very difficult to think. I know that sounds bizarre. You know, you want to play your game, you just get down and play. But when the coach can actually see something, it can help you when they give you that information.
Oh, she's got through here. Will she get it across? And it was a mistake there from Tolanova, and Alanu just couldn't get to the ball. Big let off there for Kyrgyzstan.
She was onto that like a flash, wasn't she? Great ball floated in. The keeper indecisive. If you come that far, you've got to come the whole way. You can't let that ball bounce. You have to go all the way through anything. And I tell you what, Alanud wasn't a million miles away there. Just a slightly heavy first touch. If that touch is a little bit lighter, she slots that in and we're all square.
Yeah, I think you're right about the indecision there. Just hesitated, didn't she?
I tell you, you talk about the group as well, Shez. If this finishes 2-2, then Kyrgyzstan, they're in big trouble.
They're going to have to go out there. And it's a must-win game then, isn't it? Because UAE still have an interest if they draw. More on that in a short while. Ahmad Kulova, because obviously then it will be 1 point each. Bangladesh should be on 3.
That's them qualified.
And that's obviously they're well, they could still finish second, but yes, they've qualified.
Yeah.
And it comes down. It will really make the next game fascinating. We don't want it to be a dead rubber if we can help it.
No, exactly. It's totally intriguing. It will be, because, you know, if Bangladesh were to win by 3 goals, then all of a sudden Kyrgyzstan are out.
Yeah, exactly.
UAE are through.
Themselves, yeah.
So there is something to play for. That's why I said there's no way that the UAE are going into a shell here.
Sure.
They know they've got 45 minutes to save themselves in this tournament, and they've started the second half like they mean business.
Absolutely right. Good determination from them, and of course if they win this, then it means Kyrgyzstan have to go and beat Bangladesh next game. All of them will be tied on points if they do win that game, and it comes down to goal difference. So lots to play for. Here's Shard, dispossessed this time by her opposite number in Eurosbek. Now Baramakova, she's going for goal. That's not a bad effort. It just whizzes past the post. Her first sight of goal in the second half.
That was not a million miles away. We were right behind that, and I tell you, Baramakova did ever so well. She's opened herself up. She's looked for that top corner, and that's just inches wide.
Good technique. And by the way, look at the shots now. It's just narrowing that gap, isn't it? Playing the ball in. This is where Aya, she hesitated again. She's saved by Fatima Ghulam.
No, she let her do the job. Go and win the header, put the pressure on and do something. She did just enough there to put off the attacking side.
Goal kicks were an area of susceptibility for the UAE because it kept coming right back at them from Bangladesh.
Now they've shown a lot more desire, a lot more passion, a lot more spirit today, the UAE, than we saw on the opening day. Now whether or not that was because of travel and getting used to the weather and the heat here in Dhaka, I don't know. But it's a different side. It's chalk and cheese. It really, really is. And you know where I'm coming from.
Absolutely. Where was this grit the other day? Mind you, they were up against a very impressive Bangladesh side. Here's Bodobakova. That's a good ball, and Eurosbek couldn't quite control. And that is a wild hit in the end from Maslianova.
Yep, Maslianova just coming on there from the fullback position, push forwards to try and get something on the ball.
Yeah, it's a really good initiative, isn't it? This kind of tournament, the Bangamata Under-19 Women's Gold Cup, thanks to the Bangladesh Football Federation and K Sports. Things have really looked up for Bangladesh football in the last few years, Paul. They've been champions of the AFC Under-14 regional competition in 2014-2015. The women have done very well, haven't they, as well? The group champions and the AFC Under-16 Women's Championship 2017. The qualifiers were right here in Bangladesh. Took part in quite a few competitions as well. They runners-up of the SAF Women's Championship 2016. They've really started to go somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah, you need a federation that's totally dedicated and behind what you're trying to do. And obviously bringing in the likes of Paul Smalley to help oversee the technical aspects of the game of football. You're going to take steps in the right direction. That's exactly what's happening here in Bangladesh. Football is on the rise, it's moving forwards, and it's important that the federation back it. And as you can see, putting tournaments on like this and the Men's Gold Cup and things like that really do help. And it's fantastic to see, and it's good that the federation want to invest in the youth, in the women, and in the men's national team. So fair play to the federation.
Yeah, they really have come on in leaps and bounds. And most recently, they were group champions in the AFC Under-16 Women's Championship 2019. Some of these players were involved.
Yeah, six of them straight away were on the team sheet yesterday for their first game.
Well, that says it all, doesn't it? And you could tell they were marked out to us, and they were the key. They were indeed the key players.
I think I mentioned to you as well, didn't I? As we were talking before one of the games about where are all the 18-year-olds playing in an under-19s, and it just shows that there is a good generation and a good crop of young women that are coming through the ranks, and they're better than the 18-year-olds. So they're giving them, the youth, the opportunity to play, which is fantastic. That's why tournaments like this are absolutely bang on. They're spot on for development.
Well, as someone involved in youth football like you are, Paul, you will know, of course, that you need to get them as young as possible, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And there's a lot of hard work that goes into it behind the scenes, I'm sure. Many districts, many regions here in Bangladesh. It's not the easiest thing to try and do, but if you can just change one life and pick one player out from one area, they could go on to be an absolute superstar. You never know.
Absolutely right. Here comes Shad surging through. Great player. What a run from Shad. Can she score now? Fantastic run from her, and really nicely done by Tolanova. But she could have cut inside, and that would have been the goal of the tournament.
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, she's skipped and danced. We've seen it twice now, past challenges. were non-existent. It's a poor touch right at the end that let her down. There's the one. She's showing the strength. She's showing the passion and desire to get in there. There. It's just she tried to cut it back onto that right foot, and it just like a double tap, and it goes away from her. There. And that's when the opportunity's gone.
What a shame, because that would have been a superb goal. Now, keeper Tolanova is off the line. Can they finish off here? Well, they've got away with that one. It is very tentative at the moment from Kyrgyzstan. The U.A.E are right on top here.
What a chance. What a chance. I mean, Kyrgyzstan over the last couple of minutes have caused one or two issues themselves, but what's the keeper doing there? I mean, she's run out 10 yards to come and get that ball. There's 3 white shirts there. Let your defenders defend. You mark your goal. You cover your goal. What a ball that is.
Well, that's a nice ball through from Rawan. And Saskayeva has to try and help out, but they're pushing further forward. They're attacking so much more now. Alanud. Oh, almost through to Sara. But they've just got to be a little careful at the back here, because Borombakova and Saskayeva are coming forward. Aya will get there first. They want to get the ball quickly back up. The momentum is with the U.A.E at the moment. This is a great game now, Paul.
It is. We said it would be in the second half. We said we'd turn around and go, wow, we nearly did there with that run. It was unbelievable from Shad, the way that she's just skipped and jinked past everybody.
That would have been a goal, wouldn't it? Really would have been fantastic. And there's still plenty of time left in this. Alanud.
They're controlling the middle of the park now. That's where the U.A.E have started to come back into this game and win it from that last 20 minutes of the second half. They're putting their foot in, they're a bit stronger, and they're actually winning the ball and wanting to go forwards through the middle of the park. You've got to say, Dallinger is looking out of sorts. Uzbek is exactly the same. They're not getting stuck in like they are, and that's where this game could be won or lost.
I also just wonder, Paul, this is now the U.A.E.'s second game. They've acclimatised. Kyrgyzstan, this is their first. They're nowhere near the kind of side we saw in the first 20-25 minutes of that first half. And I just wonder whether they're struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they will do, and they'll be better in the second game.
Yep.
That's for sure, because like you say, coming here with the climate the way it is, it's not like that in Kyrgyzstan. I can tell you that now for nothing.
Try heat. There she goes again. The crowd like it when she's on the ball, Shard. And I think you said it in the first half, Paul, she needs to be on the ball as often as possible.
Just give it a ball, let her play.
Talanova comes out well. Well, if you've got a player who's willing to run and has the skills to do it and dribble past players, she's got to see more of it.
I think I was going to mention it in the first half. Technically and individually, this U.A.E side isn't bad, but they're not playing as a team.
Yeah.
But we're seeing that they are now over the last half hour of this match. We're actually seeing them play as one, as opposed to as 11 individuals.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, spot on, Paul. I think it's chalk and cheese, as you said earlier. And they've just got to be a bit careful here. Ahmad Kulova. Aya. Was that a foul?
I tell you, that's a penalty.
Wow.
For me, that's a penalty.
That looked like a foul, didn't it? Ahmad Kulova from Aya.
She's got no need to come flying out there. The ball's over the top. It's a good one. That's a poor touch away from goal. Let the defender deal with it. The defender dealt with it, and all of a sudden, you come flying out and clatters into Akhmatilova. And that could easily have been awarded as a penalty.
Clumsy, wasn't it, that one? Irisbek, who scored the second goal, is being replaced by Zarodina. So that change about to be made. Irisbek was pretty effective in the middle of the park, just playing behind sometimes Borombakova. Is this going to be the same sort of position? Let's see.
She's more of a forward, so we may see her push on a little bit more. Maybe the defensive midfield cover will be changed slightly. interesting to see if she does just go and play off Bangamata. Well, there's no friends in this game. You've got to get a drop ball. I can't believe that wasn't contested.
Well, Dallinger, not really a convincing header there. But
and that's why. You can't drop a ball there like that and just not even contest it. If anything, U.A.E should have got it, launched it up the other end and said, okay, well, you can start with the ball over there. If that had gone in, there'd have been absolute uproar.
yeah,
What a chance as well.
It was. Now U.A.E back on the ball. Here's Sendi. Rawan needs to get some assistance. Ada Jamal puts that forward out towards Sara. No foul according to the referee. Crowd get excited when Shad is on the ball. Little nudge in the back perhaps.
There didn't look to be too much in that. Here you go. Now the referee's wrong here because she's turned around and said, stay away. Now, that's criminal because it's given them the opportunity to whip a ball in. A free header at the far post. You can't do that. You have to turn around and say, get the ball away from the goal and go and deal with it up there. Oh, I tell you, there would have been some very, very cross and angry people on the bench on the U.A.E had that gone in.
Good news is that Saskeva is up. Sandy tries to find Sara. Yeah, it does look as if the new player in, Zarodina, is playing just behind Bangamata. Or maybe she's actually now the main striker.
Yeah, don't forget, I think that Bangamata was just off with that injury, so she might go back a little bit further forwards.
This is a crucial little period here at the U.A.E. Need to get that second goal. Remember, a draw keeps them alive, but then they'll have to hope for a favour from Bangladesh, and it has to be with a decent winning margin. Just wanted a bit more movement there. Dr. Bolotova, skipper of the side. Now they're lofting balls in, and this is a good tactic whenever they can do it, just to put pressure on Aya. No fouls, by the way. There are players dropping like flies for a second. They want to just ride out the storm, the U.A.E.
Yeah, Kyrgyzstan were always going to have a little bit of a spell. You know that that's going to happen, and you always, as a team, get one opportunity or chance in a game. Just wonder if we may see Sara being changed up there. She's worked incredibly hard again. I think she's just starting to tire slightly.
They just maybe just want to slow this down, Kyrgyzstan. Stop the advantage, the momentum that the UAE had earlier. No rush to take this free kick. Header away by Alanud. She's come to the fore this second half. UAE just seeing a little bit more possession, I think, for the first time in this game. But really not much in it between them at the moment. Get that second goal, and we are going to have a frenetic finish, aren't we, here at the Bangamata National Stadium.
Good ball.
Into the channels there, good work. Sarah, she needs some support. She's done well here. Where are her teammates? Was there a foul?
Penalty.
Has she pointed to the spot?
I think she
Yes,
has.
she has.
I think she has. I was going to say that's a penalty. I thought she got caught there. Sarah doing ever so well initially, and you can see now Kyrgyzstan, the players are furious. She checks inside one, just cuts it back here. Was that a trip? The whistle went straight in the mouth. She did blow the penalty straight away. It's not that, it's slightly just before, but that just gives you the indication that the referee had blown the whistle. Let's see if the contact's there. Checks back. Yep. Leg across onto the knee. That, I'm afraid, by the letter of the law, is a penalty.
And may I just add, it's the same player in question, Kalishova, with a handball in the first half and now the foul. And this is interesting as well. They're not going for the same taker. There is a little bit of a confrontation with two players, but Paul, why would you change your penalty taker when the first one went so well? They're going to go for Sendi to take the penalty.
Confidence, go a different way. You can chop and change it.
Let's hope it's not a talking point.
Well, she didn't start, did she? So
Yeah.
maybe she's the normal penalty taker.
Yeah, fair point. Well, no pressure then on Sendi. And this to make it 2-2. It's taking an age, isn't it? The referee having a chat with the players because they were confronting each other, but this is working against Sendi. She just wants to get on with it. They're still having a few words there. The referee making sure everyone is behaving themselves, and outside of that D, they're waiting for a rebound perhaps. Sendi just wants to take the penalty. Can she equalise here for her country? Oh, she's blasted it over. Well, well, well. It's a lifeline. You look at the relief from the players and despair from her teammates.
Absolutely. Well, look at the subs as well for Kyrgyzstan. How far away is it though? That's the question. I'll tell you what, she's gone for it, hasn't she? It's not a million miles away. No way the keeper was getting that.
No, but I just wonder, why. When you have a great penalty earlier, be interesting to find that one out later. Boromakova, maybe a bit of cramp. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, just caught up. But you're right, it is a bit of cramp.
Oh, what a chance, Paul, to equalise and give us a great last 20 minutes. But that's what the UAE were doing. They've created opportunities for themselves. They've also profited from not too good defending at the back. Kyrgyzstan have looked tentative.
Yeah, they have as the game's gone on as well. They haven't kept things as sure as they should have done.
There's the penalty taker, Sendi. I'm afraid she'll be playing that one back. She's just got to keep herself focused and remember they're still in this.
Still time, still 20 minutes to go.
Well, little mistakes like that will work for the UAE. Here is Konusbaeva. Saskeva. Now Dallinger.
And the physicality. Dallinger again, the one putting the foot in. I said in the first half, I think she's the one that's made the most fouls, and she's carrying on this second half as well.
Is that a yellow card for you?
Gone for the ball. It's just a little bit over aggressive. I think that one's just a little talking to.
Cards have been few and far between, I must say, in this tournament.
We've had a red one.
For a non-player. That is Latipov, Mr. Latipov of Tajikistan, and the referee, I think, is just having to calm things down a little bit. The U.A.E will feel, even though we've missed it, we've got the initiative here.
Got to pick up those second balls there, though. That's the key element now.
Oh, little nutmeg there from Dallinger. She's done really well. And she was just trying to get that through to Ahmad Kulova.
Yeah, just too much pace on the ball. Just needed to be rolled rather than played. There is a difference. If you just roll the ball in, it has less pace on it. If you play it in, it means you're passing it in properly.
Oh, it's a lovely ball put through here. Saskeva. She was up against Najla. Will be a corner. This is the right sort of areas here for the U.A.E.
Have they learned from the first half? 2 goals conceded from corners.
This all eyes on Aya, the goalkeeper, and now she's got maybe a little bit more of a physical presence there from Zorodina. You can understand why they just want to put pressure on Aya as much as possible. To be fair, she can stand there. It's really up to the defenders around her to make life difficult. She can stand right in front of the keeper if she wants to. Wang Tia is just having a couple of words, the referee, with Zorodina and Aya. Now remember, there have been some really nice corners taken by Borombakova. She's put them into dangerous areas, and the keeper has flapped at them.
She tried to score again then.
She was going for it, wasn't she?
When you said put it into a dangerous area, the danger area is that the 3 white sticks with that net at the back, where she managed to put it in first time in the first half. And she's trying to do it there rather than just be a little bit safer and keep it in play.
Well, you've done it once, you're thinking, oh, I've got a good chance.
Yeah, lightning doesn't strike twice.
That is away by Rawan. Sarah. Now Alanud.
Well played.
She's done well. Good ball across. Sendy, though, won't get there. They might go for safety first if they can.
See, that's a mistake there from Maslianova, because if she deals with that ball early, she doesn't get her team under pressure. She was going to try and shepherd that one out, so good chasing down.
Sendy looking to redeem herself after missing that penalty earlier. Here's Rawan. And they're getting some of the ball players dropping back here a bit. Borombakova. Coach Huria.
She's not happy, is she?
She knows how close they were to squaring this match. 15 minutes or so left in this game. Still could go any way here, Paul.
Yeah, it could. It really could, because Kyrgyzstan have had a bit of a spell and have looked a little bit better. But the U.A.E, well, they've played above and beyond what they did a couple of days ago. We're only left now to see Lao, aren't we? The only side that we haven't seen play yet.
There'll be an action tomorrow. Kyrgyzstan have had a few moments here and there in the second half.
Well, already the gamesmanship starting. Is this
Yeah,
where I've got to take it from?
Or take it.
Foul
throw.
Yeah. Ball has to be one motion from behind the head all the way through.
How many are we on for? 8?
We've had 3 this game. So it was 6. So yes, 8. We're on 8.
Oh, nice ball. Really nice ball to the danger player, Shad, who can turn on the pace here. She's cut inside. And then got back out. Still on the ball, but she needs some support. She's going to try and do it all on her own. Sandy. She has got the capability of running through this defence here, Shad.
Yeah, she has. She's got the ability to do that as well. You can quite clearly see that from the run that she's had earlier. Good challenge that, no foul. Correct decision. I'll tell you what though, that's not bad defending from Maslianova. Not letting her get away at all from her and putting that pressure on her the whole time.
Well, can they keep this up, the U.A.E, in these last 12 minutes? Force the equaliser. Rawan. Here's Sara. Now Shad. Foul on her. They're dominating that midfield, aren't they, at times here, U.A.E?
It looked as though Kyrgyzstan had just got themselves back into dealing with things, and then all of a sudden they've just gone to sleep again.
She needs to keep her focus on the defensive wall.
I think there were the flies down there, or the moths.
Now the medical staff rushing on here.
As they walk across slowly with the stretcher. Of course, the physio sprinted in.
So Fatima Jassim Hosseini replaced by Alia Zabi. Fatima Jassim was playing left back. I just wonder, it looks like Alia is now perhaps going into a centre-back position, and we're seeing Najla move into left-back.
I think what you may find is that they might go with 3 at the back.
Yeah.
The last 10 minutes, have a go, push everything forwards. You've got your wing-backs pushed on, and you just say, if we're going to go out this tournament and we're going to lose 2-1, we might as well lose 3-1. But at least you can't say that we haven't had a go. And that's exactly what could happen.
It's good to see, Paul. It's nice and positive, at least.
Correct.
It does look like it, doesn't it? Now, what are they going to do here? She's gone for it. Shad, it just sails over the crossbar. Wonder whether they would have thought about playing it short.
Just a little bit high, wasn't it? Just wonder if she didn't want to just dink that over the wall there. Again, we mentioned, didn't we, that when you do get set plays like that, you have to hit the target, force the goalkeeper to make a save. Saw one in the first half, didn't we? Top and all that.
Comes right back at them. Good work there from Musa. We're into the 80s.
I wish we were.
Missing it, are you?
Oh yes. What a decade that was.
Put out of play by Konishbaeva, and the U.A.E trying to keep the pressure on here. It is certainly 3 at the back now, what we're seeing, with Alia, Aida and Najla. 3 at the back. So there are going to be a few risks here from the UAE, and this is what they'd be concerned about. Zorodina wanted an earlier ball. There she is on it now. Good play from her. She's done really well here, giving Aida a tough time. Great work from the forward. That's what you want in these dying minutes of the game.
Yep, just hold the ball up, try a little trick. It came off for her. And now you'll see somebody taking as humanly long as possible to leave the field of play.
Akhmatulova, she's had some good moments, replaced by Alimizanova.
I just wonder if that's... It looks like it's a bit more of an attacking move as well. The legs may just have gone, which is why she's been brought on.
Have they got enough in the tank to force the issue here? That looked a little bit like a foul throw, but anyway, here's Al-Anud. Oh, and Paul was talking about trying to wrap your leg around the ball when you're going down the line.
Yeah, unless you're pinging it completely straight and you're just dropping it in there, then you have to use the instep a little bit more just to bend it away from that line. It also means that if it's got the right pace on, the striker can drop the shoulder and let it run past them, or they can hold it up and check back inside. You give the striker the option.
Yeah.
When you kick it straight out of play, the only option you've got is to defend.
At the moment, Kyrgyzstan doing well. That is miles offside from Alimzanova. Surely she should have seen the line there. Yeah, clearly offside. I think they want more players further up. Here the offsides. Now, can they get to the ball first? Tolanova is quick. Tries to get rid of it quickly.
Don't mind that. Trying to play quickly, particularly when you're leading 2-1 and the clock's ticking down.
Here's a new player in, Alia Borobakova. And look at Zorodina steaming in, putting the pressure on. She's been a good positive influence at the top of the attack now, hasn't she, Zorodina?
Yeah, she's got pace as well. That's why you saw she had to stretch her legs there, Ayla.
She had no business getting to that ball, Paul.
No, but it's Ayla that made the initial mistake, giving the ball away where she did, instead of keeping possession.
Zorodina to Bangla. This is Maslianova. This is not going according to plan for the UAE. They need the ball up the other end at the moment. Onside, or is it not? Yep, the flag has gone up. Need to show some urgency here, the UAE. They want to try and get that equaliser.
Tell you what, she's not offside when that ball's played. She's clearly onside. Wow.
We need another mazy run, don't we, from Shard, who's just gone down there. She's not happy with that challenge.
the arm raised?
Oh, it's a red card! It's a straight out dismissal for the star player, Bangamata, who doesn't argue with that. I think she's just checking, did she hit her with the shoulder? And she's just saying, I'm just going to say sorry, I think, but it's a straight red card decision.
Wow.
Well. We were saying there's not been many cards in this tournament, and we've suddenly got a red here.
I have to be honest, I didn't really see too much in that.
Yeah.
Now, it just looked innocuous from our vantage point, but let's have a little look here. Does she swing? Yep, she swung out there. She swung out and caught her with the arm. That's why it's been shown as red. Watch the left arm now. Watch, bang. Oh. There you go. I tell you what, that's the right decision. You cannot swing arms on the field of play. The second you do, you're asking for trouble. And that's why she wasn't remonstrating. She knew that she'd done wrong. But that's harsh.
The question is, Paul, why? There was no need for it. You're now putting your team under pressure. There's a good 6-7 minutes left in this game. Why would you do that?
There's obviously a little bit of niggle gone on there in the middle of the park. I think we've seen that this second half. And I think it's just frustration. If you have a look at the build-up to that actual swing of the arm, they're all over the top of each other, trying to clamour to get to the ball first. Then that swing of the arm just means bang, red card.
She's one of the most effective attacking players. She's now out of the game against Bangladesh. If the U.A.E. manage to get something out of here, Kyrgyzstan are in trouble.
They are. They certainly are.
Zorodina will almost definitely start that next game now and lead the line, but well, that was a moment of madness from the striker for Kyrgyzstan.
It's a shame, you know, for Bangamata because she hasn't played bad at all.
And now it's 10 players on the pitch for Kyrgyzstan. They've got to hold on here. Zorodina, she's shown what she can do. Cuts inside, really well done. She's going to go on her own. Saskieva. Dallinger. Straight to Aya.
Why would you throw yourself to the floor after making that save when you need to get the ball forwards quickly?
Right. Here is Shad. Will she go on a run? No, she opts to pop that forward towards Sendi.
That was a good baden, it's called in the trade, Chez, where she meant to switch it, and it's come off the outside of her foot and it's put the defence under all sorts of pressure because they weren't expecting that.
Can they hold on here, Kyrgyzstan? We're into the 90th minute.
The coach was just going to Zorodina, get into the corner. She checked back inside. And then you think, oh no, the coach is going to go mad at her. Fortunately, she played it out wide to try and keep possession.
Ooh, foul here on the skipper, Alanud, and we've got ourselves a good situation here. Will they get as many bodies in the box? We're about to have 4 minutes of added time, and they're going to throw on Mariam, who's a striker. That's the right call. She's going to replace Musa, who's been a little bit quiet in the second half. So Mariam, can she do something here?
Oh, will we have a grandstand finish?
Well, they've gone for goal! The way she caught that, the way that was going, you just didn't know. Alanud decided to go for broke. Was that the right call for you, Paul?
Yeah, you got to go for the target there. But what you do need is you need players running in a little bit quicker, just trying to get across the keeper.
Right, there's a good ball there from Aida. Sara's really giving a lot of hassle there to Kalishova, remember, who's conceded 2 penalties. But an opportunity again to push players further forward here.
Yeah, both robust there, wanting to win that ball.
Good determination from Sara.
Correct.
They're in this corner here, Al-Anoud. They need to take this quickly. It's a bit of panic at the back here for Kyrgyzstan. Urgency from the UAE, they can feel it. Anywhere will do, they just need to clear it. It's a big ball out. Ada is in the way. Dallinger. Now Sendi. Well, that bounces the right way for her. Just going down a little too easily.
Another change. Kill the clock.
Saskeva replaced by Ibrahimova. She's jogging off and then now realizing, okay, I'll just take my time.
See, I don't understand why the referees and that say, hurry up, hurry up. You just stop the watch and say, if you take your time, I'll add an extra 2 minutes. Finished. Easy. Stop the arguments, stop all the nonsense.
Stop clocks would be good, wouldn't it, Paul?
Yeah, exactly. Centralised time, it's coming soon, Shez. Remember where you heard it. Somebody else will be in charge of the timings in the next decade or two.
I'd like to see that too.
It will happen.
Then you're getting your actual money's worth of a full, proper football match. More action.
Correct.
Less time wasting. Right, into the final minute here of this match. Ibrahimova, her first touch, the substitute, who's just come on.
Didn't fancy the left foot cross there, did she?
We're right back. Aya needs to get the ball and quickly punt it up field. Got to be challenging for the ball.
But you've got to be winning that second one if you don't.
It's good work from Zorodina, applying the pressure, and now I think you've got to feel Kyrgyzstan with just about 15 seconds left. It's on the right part of the field for them.
I think we may have another minute because of taking the times to get to the balls, also that substitution. So half, maybe one half of a chance left for the UAE. You don't want to kick the ball out of play, do you? You want to keep it in play.
That wasn't the right call, but this is all working to plan for Kyrgyzstan, and they know they're on the brink of elimination here. Unless they can get the ball out, but it is full time here, and Kyrgyzstan have hung on. It's delight for them and despair for the UAE, who worked ever so hard in this game after going 2 goals down to mistakes from the goalkeeper Aya. They really deserved probably a little bit more out of this game, Paul Macefield.
Yeah, they deserved at least to get a point out of it, if not more. I have to be honest. If your goalkeeper doesn't make 2 sloppy mistakes, if you punish by putting the ball in the back of the net from penalty that you had that you missed, all of a sudden, you know, it's a reverse scoreline of 2-0 the other way, and you turn around and you've got to say, UAE, just too little too late, just after the Lord Mayor's show.
Great scenes though of celebration for Kyrgyzstan in that dramatic match we've just had, where they had to work very, very hard. They were down to 10 as well in the last few minutes. They managed to withstand a penalty as well that wasn't taken, the second penalty not taken by their star player Shad. That would have been a little bit of a talking point. Sendi took it, she blasted it over, and as Paul Macefield said, it probably should have ended at least in a draw for the UAE, which would have meant that last game would have had a little bit more to it, though of course now they're going to be fighting for top spot.
Yeah, they'll be wanting to watch and see how Lao go tomorrow as well, and what happens and what transpires there. And then it's going to be the big one. Do they rest all their players? Do they give everyone an opportunity to play?
Well, there's a nice Kyrgyz contingent in the stands, and that's where the players, there you go. And good to see, really nice to see, and they're enjoying it.
The old Viking clap as well going.
Brilliant. That's a great shot there. And it feels great, even though, you know, it's only a small crowd of Kyrgyz supporters, but always feels nice, doesn't it, Paul, when you've got some of your own in the stands?
Absolutely. And even if it's just one person, it makes a difference. Trust me. But I tell you what, they will get drowned out come 2 days' time when they come up against Bangladesh, because I'm sure there's going to be about 25,000-30,000 Bangladeshis here, and 5 or 50 about 50 Kyrgyzstan fans here.
Now, we've got the two best players here, and you really do feel for Shad. She had that knock to the face earlier from Boromakova, but she worked so hard tonight.
Yeah, she did. And it's just a shame that they go out the way that they have. They just couldn't get that extra goal. They couldn't put that penalty away to give us what would be a grandstand final game of Group B. They're trying to do it properly now. Look, there you go.
That's Boromakova. She's leading it.
Well, she's the other side, because she's not allowed back onto the field of play, so she's the other side of the board.
Look, there's absolutely nothing in this, is there, Paul? It is so tight. It's been the closest game we've had so far.
Yeah, it has. I think the only thing there that you could point to from the stat point of view was that Kyrgyzstan hit the target on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
There was only 50% hitting the target from the U.A.E. It was about 60, if my maths is about right, it was about 60-70%.
This was the penalty. It wasn't that far away, but frustration for Senli and the U.A.E. And